understood, on the ride on our rivals. They can't stop us now, but go ahead and try though. All they gonna feel is the pain inside. Ho, foes get land, but
I'm back, Gangster F Gucci, back with another one. Now, before I continue, I ask that you participate in any way possible or every way possible. If you hear, it's expected. Now, I'm gonna talk about the estilo, the way it used to be in Sanjo in the 90's for the norteños, the northerners, the northsiders. You know what I'm saying? Whatever these vatos are calling themselves nowadays, I'm saying, because shit's done changed so much. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, so I want to give you a kind of a rundown on Sanjo and how Sanjo was a lot different than the rest of the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not saying that Frisco, Oakland, Vallejo, Santa Rosa, I'm not saying they have a gang of cholos. I'm just saying in Sanjo, it was nothing but cholos. And the other part of the Bay Area, it was just different because we didn't claim the Bay Area. We didn't claim the Bay. We didn't claim South Bay. Sanjo was Sanjo. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was in the 90's because we were just different. Like I said, we have the way we moved around and the way we carried ourselves, conducted ourselves, and the gangs out here were just a lot more different than a lot of these other gangs from these other cities. You know what I'm saying? As far as the rest of the Bay Area and, Santa Rosa and Sacramento, because, Sacramento, it's not the Bay Area, but it's always been like the Bay Area's cousin type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just been like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's not that I can't explain it. I'm just not going to take the time to do that. But like I said, back to Sanjo. Norteño barrios in Sanjo have been around for a long, long, long time. Now, the reason why I'm going to speak on this is because I put out these 2 videos about the Southsiders. One a roll call and one about the car shows and cruising and, the fair and where these dudes could and can't go. And I was being real honest, and respectful. And at the same time, when I did the roll call, of course I'm not going to get everything right. I'm not a Southsider. You know what I'm saying? I don't hang around with these dudes. I don't know all their fucking estilo. I don't know exactly. I just know where I remember them being at. I remember seeing writing on the walls. I remember where we busted the fucking fools' heads open and shit like that and caught fools slipping and all that kind of stuff, right? And I remember, a lot of these dudes from these neighborhoods, a lot of them told on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to jail because these dudes, they fraternized with the fucking Marano and they let them know, who did what and pointed fingers and went to court and testified and all these kind of things, right? Nevertheless, I did these videos paying homage and giving these vatos their respect because to come into our backyard, to be behind enemy lines and to survive for this long and still be here after 40 years. At the same time, after being here 40 years, you still can't do shit. You can't go nowhere. You can't go cruising. And I'm not saying nobody doesn't. Like I said before, there's going to be people cruising, but they ain't going to be having no blue baño on their fucking forehead and moving around. They might be somewhere dressed casual as fuck, and like I said, hoping that no one don't recognize them and they don't get their whole round flop fucked off or they don't get pulled out the car and whatnot, right? And that, like I said, I don't say that out of disrespect. I'm just keeping it 100 because that's just the way gangbanging is, and that's just a lot of shit that happens, when it does happen, So, like I said, I show these vatos love and respect, you know what I'm saying, and not that type of love, a love as far as respect love, you know what I'm saying, and I give them their credit because sometimes you have to give credit where credit is due or credit is deserved. And I do that, and I did that. There's a couple of vatos you can't hold their whole collective responsible for 1 or 2 or 5 J-Cats that want to be keyboard warriors of the year and want to sit here and say stupid shit like the Norteño movement is dead in Sanjo. That shit will never die. You know what I mean? And if that was the case, then the Sudanos would have took over a long time ago. You know what I mean? So it just sounds stupid when people say stupid shit. You know what I mean? And like I said, I didn't do these videos about them to glamorize gangbanging, to support Sureños or Southerners or Southsiders. And like I said, we, as far as up north go, we always known them as Sureños. And I know that means something different in prison, but I'm not talking about prison. I'm talking about the fucking streets. We ain't never known these dudes as Southsiders or Southerners. Southerners are from LA. We know these dudes as Sureños because that's what they were claiming up north. And a lot of these dudes were paisas back when they barely started, so they didn't know how to say Southsider. They didn't know how to say Southerner. They spoke Spanish, so they knew how to say Sureño. You know what I mean? And because of that, that label has stuck with them all this time. And now people say, oh, well, there's 5,000 of you guys, 3,000. You guys can't knock down a few hundred. You know what? The crazy part about that is that's a real true statement. And it's never been like, there's never been a wheeler that came out saying that, you know, we don't want them here no more. They all got to go. Like if, you know, like when they gave me the wheeler and the oil in 99 and said that we could no longer be on the yards with the Bulldogs, that they all had to be removed. There's never been a kite like that in Sanjo. If there was, then if the Norteños all united, how hard would it be to get rid of these 300-400 maybe? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be hard at all. You can get, there's a big gang of Norteño gangs. You get 4 or 5 gangs from different areas to go into these areas and occupy them. Move into the apartments, move into the houses. These dudes won't be there no more. They'd have to fucking move and leave. You know, a couple cocktails, a couple stab wounds, a couple fucking gunshots, and you know, a few people getting locked up, and bada bing, bada boom, Norteño hood. If you can't go cruising, you can't go to the car shows, you can't go get a job at the regular mall, you're gonna tell me these fools can't move them out if they really want to? Of course. It's obvious. That in itself says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta always look at the bigger picture, and people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? People wanna, they're small minded. So point being, money, at the end of the day, like I said, you know, if the shit, if shit had to happen and they all had to go, it could be done. If a Sureño hood had to get taken over by the homeboys, it could be done. And like I said, I'm not doing this to glorify a gang activity. You know what I'm saying? To do anything, money, because I don't participate in none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what I want for my young brown brothers, north or south. You know what I mean? I'd rather teach these dudes how to survive in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And how to be successful in life. You know what I'm saying? How to start their own small businesses. You know, not only even just to get a good ass holiday where you could get other homeboys holidays and help them live a better life. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. I like I said, I'm not here to encourage gangbanging. I'm not here to make you believe or feel that that's going to get you somewhere in life, because that's all a dead end at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, I'm not here to speak down on the motherfucking movement and on the people either, because to each his own, and if that's what people want to do, you know what I'm saying, then hey, the more power to you. But if you're going to do it, then do it right. If you're going to do it, then be a criminal about it. You know what I'm saying, is all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? At the same time, like I said, money, yeah, I don't want to see my people behind these walls and these boxes for the rest of their life. Now, let me jump back to this whole Norte thing, and you can understand like where the Norteños come from. Norteños are deep money in San Juan. You know what I'm saying? The barrios, there's a gang of barrios. And I'm not saying all these barrios are active as fuck, just like I was telling you about the Sureño hoods. Sureños might get by like, no, we're still around. It's just 5, it's like saying 12th Street's still around. They are. 12th Street's still around. The Norteño 12th Street. They're still around, but they don't got their barrio no more. They ain't, the hood's dead. And I don't say that to disrespect them. It's just the fucking truth. Just like I said about some of these Southside neighborhoods, they're fucking dead. They're not there no more. And just because there's 2 OGs and some little kid that's banging it still, that don't make that hood the hood still. It's fucking, it's gone. Forget about it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, when I made that video, like I was paying homage, and I was just, you know, paying my respects and giving fucking credit where credit is well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of the fact that we could have exterminated all these cats a long time ago, they're still there. And regardless of them playing defense or not, they're still there. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't Norteños just movies dudes. It was also just like the homeboys. Like a homeboy had said about Barrio Monte Alban, the Cantons over there. You know, Canton didn't move into Barrio Monte Alban because they were fucking more crazy and they went to war and moved all these dudes out. Fuck no. Monte Alban got kicked out by the fucking federales. You know what I'm saying? They went in there. They indicted all these cats. They kicked all these dudes out the fucking hood. You know what I'm saying? And they basically opened up the doors for someone else to go in there. You know what I mean? And it's not that the homeboys, you know, couldn't fight back. The homeboys, a lot of homeboys just left from there. You know, they got evicted. You know what I'm saying? Not by the cops, but by the owners of the apartments. You know what I'm saying? And there might have been 1 or 2 people that lived there still. You know what I'm saying? But they couldn't hold it down by themselves. At the same time, like I said, you know, that whole neighborhood got taken down by the feds, money. And that's why Clanton's in there. Not because Clanton's a hardcore gang and they just moved in there because they're savages. That's not the case. But Monte Alban was there. They were holding it down, and they were surrounded, and they couldn't get fucked with. They were with the shits. If you look at the indictment that happened with them, they got busted with a gang of fucking candies. You know what I'm saying? And they were putting in mad work. I know we used to go over there as little kids back in the early 90's. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't get it twisted. People just say the wrong stupid ass shit. There's just areas that are just, the homeboys not there no more. So these dudes are able to move in there, and they usually pick a lot of areas that have a lot of apartments, like the crime zone. The crime zone has a lot of apartments, and Pioneer's always been an all-Sureño school, so it's easy for people to move in these areas where the homeboys are not really occupying them. You know what I'm saying? So, and same thing with 12th Street. You know, 12th Street, the Barrio 12th Street, that shit didn't get taken over by this SCL gang. The motherfuckers not just there no more. They just chose to move out that area, and they never continued, you know, the generational shit, and they never jumped new heads in. They were posted up in that barrio and all that type of shit. So, you know, dudes were able to move inside there. It wasn't because they got taken over. You know what I'm saying? Just like SSP and Canton, they didn't take over the West Side. They didn't take over that piece. There was no one there. And the only reason why there was no one there was because us and Horseshoe were too busy trying to knock down each other that they fucking blew up in that area under our noses. You know what I'm saying? Because we weren't even paying attention. We were too busy trying to knock each other down. Two Norteño hoods. Trying to whack each other while the Sureño neighborhoods are fucking blowing up right next to us. And we're not even realizing it. And by the time, you know, we start getting rushed by these dudes too, they were already too big to even just push out the way. Because they, like I said, they were smart about how they went about it. There was a lot of other Sureño neighborhoods. They were going in that neighborhood. So it wasn't like we were going to go in there and knock down 10 people. There's 50, 100. And then you got Washington School that's there, and all these little kids are seeing all the writing on the walls. They see all these dudes in blue. They see shit always popping. You know, by the time they're in 5th grade, these dudes already want to be Sureños. So they're going to Hoover and Markham, 6th, 7th grade, already banging Sud. And then, you know, they were able to start accumulating, you know, generations of Southsiders, you know, into that little area. You know what I mean? But they didn't, like, move in there, start going to war with us, they, you know, and taking over. You know what I'm saying? Because we weren't even in that area. That area was like a neutral zone. It was more of Horseshoe than it was ours. You know what I'm saying? As far as Virginia goes, you know, all the way down to Monterey Road, that was more Horseshoe than it was ours. Ours was maybe Willow right there in that area. But these fools, when they came in nasty. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, I don't say this to disrespect them, Shoe, or anybody else. Like, this is real life. I'm just telling you how it was and what happened. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, at the end of the day, that's what it was, homie. Happy Hollow didn't get taken over. There wasn't the Norteños all there. People try to say, you know, that there was all Norteños there. They may have been some Norteños that lived there. Then it wasn't a Norteño hood, and these fools came in and just took over. There's a lot of areas that are just not occupied. William Street wasn't occupied. You know what I'm saying? Where Peligroso Locos was at, that wasn't occupied. Now, McLaughlin is a little bit different, but these vatos always been banging right there on McLaughlin as far as where Tammy Lee is at. But M Street's been there for a long time también. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that M Street's a dead neighborhood or anything like that, but they're not there and strong like they were. You know what I'm saying? Just some Norteño hoods are not there no more. Some Sureño hoods are not there no more. Like I said, not all the hoods survived out of the 90's. And I'm going to make a video so you can know what hoods didn't survive out of the 90's. You know, or barely survived. You know what I'm saying? And crutches type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then just all the way, boom. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're always going to have OGs from these neighborhoods, just like in Bakersfield. You have homeboys from La Loma. I was locked up with a homeboy from La Loma. What was his name? Frenchie from La Loma. OG Vato. This is back in 2000. This fucker was 50 years old, 50-something, 55, 57 years old. And this is back in 2000. You know what I'm saying? And he was from La Loma. He was Norteño. And back then, we didn't, you know, there wasn't a lot of homeboys coming from Bakersfield anymore that were Norteños. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was an OG from right there. You know what I mean? So my point being is, you're always going to have OGs from 12th Street, from fucking Calle, you know, M. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have vatos from, you know, all these different places, homie, that, like I said, because they're OGs from these hoods that are not there no more. Just like you're going to have vatos from some of these Sureño neighborhoods that are no longer there, like VSL. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, like I said, these neighborhoods are no longer a threat on both sides. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these hoods, VSJ ain't around no more. There might be some heads from VSJ that they're trying to make a comeback and get some heads in, but they're not the VSJ that was VSJ in the 90's. VSJ in the 90's was fucking, it was nuts. These motherfuckers were deep as fuck. They were everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wanted to get in that barrio. That was like one of the hoods to get into outside of Palmas and Eastside hoods. You know what I'm saying? Horseshoe. There was like certain gangs that people strive to get involved or get into. You know what I'm saying? Then there was gangs like mine that no one wanted to get in. You know what I'm saying? And the people that did, they knew that shit came with, you got to be a certain type of motherfucking dude with a certain type of mentality, almost a little bit like crazy to get into my neighborhood, knowing that once you get in, you automatically accumulate more enemies than you ever had in your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Automatic. You know what I'm saying? Within minutes. I'm talking about after you get jumped in, you automatically have 1,000 enemies. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you know, Sanjo, the Norteños in Sanjo, the lifestyle, the whole get down is a lot different than what people think. Like I said, we've always been on that gang banging shit, like real hard. Whereas like the rest of the Bay Area they were gang banging too, but they're on that hustle shit. I'm not saying that we weren't hustling, but we were on that gang banging shit, like really going to jails. Really, that's why you see a gang of fools from Songho locked up more than these other cities. And most of the time it's for gang banging. And when it comes to the Sudanos, man, I've been to jail a few times. I'm going to say 5 times because I smashed on some dudes from, they were up here and behind enemy lines in the wrong territory and got smashed on. And I got snitched on. They went as far as going to court testifying against me. And some of these dudes didn't even know. This vato from Clanton didn't even know that in my song Backstab, I say I went to prison my first time for these snitches from Clanton. And I don't say that shit to disrespect Clanton from LA or anywhere else. I say this shit because it's the truth. Their homeboy thought he was hella hard. I fucked his ass up. And then he went to court and testified against me. Hey, rest in peace. The vato's not alive no more. You know what I'm saying? And every time I seen him, I chased him down. But this vato fucking went to court, testified and everything against me, and was still banging his video. And these dudes thought that this was one of the fucking locust dudes from their neighborhood until they found out that I had paperwork on them. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't. A lot of these fools told on me. Straight up, point the finger right there in front of the cops and everything, right at me. Matter of fact, they came and identified me for the cops. You know what I'm saying? And I still made these videos paying homage and giving some of these vatos their respects and their videos respect. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't have to do that shit. There was vatos before I came on YouTube and started speaking on the Southsiders and putting out the whole the abatement and injunction and shit that happened to us. People from Songho were saying they wouldn't even hear that these vatos are smoking fucking grass, money. That these vatos are smoking straight PCP and don't know what they're talking about. But I put that shit out there on a respect level. And I just did that recently. And then you still have these fucking J-cats that want to run their mouths. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't say stuff, money, just to say shit. But people got to know there's a difference from me just saying something, money. I was here during the war, money, the whole time. And like I said, you guys don't know, we were banging, money, in the fucking rain on Christmas night. Going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I don't know how many other hoods are doing that shit, but that's what we were doing. Back then, we were in the hood. We were in the hood all day, in the alleys, at the handball courts, at Pomona Market. You know what I'm saying? On Sanborn, on Mastic in the fucking alley. You know what I'm saying? We were everywhere. We were in the fucking hood, and we were gangbanging. And even though, yes, at one point, everybody was getting us. You know what I'm saying? We were the most hated in our city. We were fighting against fucking 20, 30 gangs. One gang. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, there's always going to be people speaking on shit. And I say some things, but everything I say is truth to power. And although some people might say that's not true, then maybe they don't know what their other homeboys are doing. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they don't know the whole fucking picture. Everything exactly what was going down. I do. I'm out.